Hey, great pop culture debate listeners. We're taking a short break from new episodes this week, but don't worry, we'll be back next week with the premiere of our episode 200 spectacular. Yes, God. In the meantime, we didn't want to leave you without a little something to listen to, so we're bringing you a hot take from our best Nickelodeon series episode. In this clip, our panel takes on two beloved classics from the golden age of Nickelodeon: the teen sketch comedy hit All That, and the animated coming-of-age favorite, Doug. One gave us unforgettable characters, catchphrases, and chaotic comedy, while the other delivered heartfelt stories, daydream adventures, and one very memorable theme song. But only one can move forward in our bracket. If this clip leaves you wanting more, check out the full episode in our podcast feed. Or head over to greatpopculturedebate.com for more pop culture showdowns. Be sure to follow the podcast so you never miss a heated debate. All right, grab your orange soda and cue the theme song. It's time for the debate. It is another evenly split as 3-seed cartoon Doug is up against 2-seed sketch show All That. Curtis, why is All That worth moving forward with or without a bag of chips? Joelle, is your underwear on the inside or outside of your pants? Call Quailman to save the day as you support Doug. Curtis, you go first.
I feel like people, especially our Patreon supporters who heard part 1 of this episode, are going to think that I don't like Doug, considering I am typically the only one that's arguing against it every time. And while I did like it, Doug just wasn't the banger that I think everyone else thought it was. Doug is milquetoast. He's boring. He is another white man failing upward. The ensemble of that show is what made it interesting, and that's just simply not enough for me. Speaking of ensemble cast, All That was my introduction to sketch comedy shows. While I preferred the Roundhouse to All That, mostly because of the theme song, All That still gave us some amazing characters that influenced Nickelodeon's fabric. All That was a star maker. Kenan Thompson got his start there. Amanda Bynes, Nick Cannon, for better or worse, and Gabriel Iglesias all also found their footing on the show and went on to bigger and better things. Without All That, you don't have shows like Kenan and Kel or The Amanda Show. You wouldn't have gotten characters like Pizza Face or Bag and Sag and Barry, or sketches like Good Burger, a sketch that was so popular it went on to get its own movie. And that was so popular that it got a sequel nearly 30 years after its original airing. All That is a critical thread in the tapestry of Nickelodeon.
She came with it. All right, Joelle, you gotta slap back for Doug.
I don't know how you compete with that with a kid that wears underwear around his, khakis and then puts a belt around his head and calls himself Quimman. But you can, because that's creative. And he was such a creative kid. And he would go home and he would draw and he would dream up and he was just always dreaming. He was a daydreamer. The show was just charming and weird. Everything was weird. Like the colors of the show was complete nonsense half the time. People were purple and blue and white and green and yellow, and it was great. I don't know that Doug competes with All That, because All That really was like a generation forming strong, and it's a strong contender on this. And so many careers it created. And yeah, I don't know how I compete with that, but I want people to love Doug. That's all.
Amma, where are you?
If you're asking me, which you are, All That wins this, and it is not close.
Andrea.
I did have a whole argument written up for Doug. I did not consider the fact that it would be going up against All That. I did literally use the phrase milquetoast in my notes, though, about Doug. So, it was kind of a frenemy situation in my notes. But I also think it really dealt a lot with processing emotions. He journaled every day, and that was the whole narration of the show, was basically reading from his journal. However, sketch comedy, All That, nice gateway into SNL. I'll stick with All That.
Okay, so that's 3 for All That, which means we will advance it into the next round. Thanks for listening. If you liked what you heard, check out the full episode on our podcast feed, or explore our other debates covering everything from movies and music to TV, reality shows, and beyond. Got thoughts? Are you rooting for All That, or do you think Doug deserves the win? Either way, we'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on social media. We're on Instagram at Great Pop Culture Debate, and on Blue Sky at gpcd.bsky.social. Until next time, remember, in pop culture debates, everyone's entitled to their wrong opinion. We'll see you next week for the start of Season 13 of the Great Pop Culture Debate.